Hey guys, it's Astroqueen Kim and welcome to the Zen Den. So today I'm going to be talking about what they don't tell you in spirituality, okay? I really feel like a lot of people don't talk about the dark side to spirituality. They don't talk about the shadow work. They don't talk about, the loneliness and the crying and the anger and the weeping and every other negative emotion you can think of. A lot of people just think it's love and light and rainbows and happiness and freedom, which it is. It is 110% that, but it is also sadness and anger and crying and loneliness and feeling like nothing is going to get better, because you have to face yourself before you can see those rainbows and butterflies and unicorns and whatever else, And I just really want to bring the light to that, I feel like it's something that should definitely be talked about a lot more. So with that being said, we are gonna really go into what they don't tell you in spirituality, and one of them is shadow work. Okay, shadow work is something that is so important, and I'm definitely gonna make a video just talking about shadow work and how to do shadow work and everything. But the gist of it is pretty much you are facing yourself. You are facing the demons you don't want to face. You are facing the ugly, the triggers, just the part that you don't want to accept. And once you can accept that part of you, once you could really just sit there and be like, X, Y, and Z happened, but I'm better than that. I know that I am able to achieve so much more than that situation in life, or that type of energy or people, because we are surrounded by so many different types of energy, and while we're growing up, we literally go through so many things, traumatic, great things, bad things, and when that happens, that later leads on to us reacting towards certain situations a certain way because of what happened at childhood. If something good happened during childhood and then later on that same thing, something similar happens, you're gonna be like, oh yay, kikiri ki. But honestly, let's say some traumatic experience happened to you when you were younger, and that same situation or something very similar like that happens to you when you're an adult, and you did not sit down and take time to really heal from that situation when you were little, because you're little, sometimes it's not expressed to be okay with certain things, and it's okay to cry, and it's okay to feel sad, and it's okay to talk to your parents about these things, because honestly, sometimes parents don't let you know that they're there for them, and that affects a child a lot, and then growing up you feel like nobody's there for you, you know what I mean? So it's really important to face all those types of triggers and obstacles within yourself, so eventually you could let that go and go into your higher power. Shadow work is something that you constantly are doing, even when you have reached a level of how do I explain it? Even if you have reached the level of past shadow work, you know what I mean? Because there is gonna come a time when you're really like, okay, I got this shadow work down. I've really got my triggers down. I understand where I'm going wrong and what I need to better. But there's always gonna be times where you are healing, you know what I mean? Because we're healing in so many different ways, regardless of how much we're growing, because situations are always happening and we're always learning new lessons and new things. The thing with shadow work is once you learn those things, the universe, your ancestors, your spirit guides are going to bring you a lesson that is just like the ones you have been working on, to see if you really learned your lessons, to see if you really understand your triggers, and to see if you really understand yourself. And honestly, to see if you're going to make the same mistakes, because they are very testy. The universe loves to test us and see, are we really what we say we are? You know what I mean? Because people can genuinely be like, I am wusa, I am this and that, but inside they are crippling with so much sadness and triggers and anything else you can think of. And if you're not confronting that, you are making a fake illusion around you, because we are energy. So what we put out into the universe is exactly what we get back. So if we're being fake to ourselves and pushing away our shadow work or pushing away, our triggers and this and that, we're gonna eventually create an atmosphere, create friends, create an environment where people are gonna be projecting those things that you don't even want to be. And you keep just pushing it away, pushing it away, pushing it away. And before you know it, you're in this toxic cycle, toxic environment, and you don't know like what to do. It is accepting the fact that you are going to be leaving friendships, you're going to be leaving loved ones behind, you're going to be leaving relationships behind, whether it be platonic, romantic, family. You are growing into a stronger soul, you're growing into a stronger spirit. And why are you fighting yourself on something that your soul is meant to do? You know what I mean? Because eventually you're gonna get stuck in the cycle of constantly being toxic to yourself and constantly being in those toxic environments. And it's important to make sure that you get out of that for yourself, because why do you want to self-sabotage? Why do you want to ruin something that can be so beautiful for you in the future? And you don't even know it because you think that this situation that you're going through is the worst thing ever, which yes, it definitely 10% could be the worst thing ever, but you can't let yourself drown in that. You cannot let yourself be stuck and say, I can't do this, I can't do anything, because in 3 years from now, you're gonna look at yourself and you're gonna be like, I did that. I was able to get over whatever the situation was, and I am able to stand here today and talk about it. I'm able to talk about it with no tears, with no shaky voice, and nothing but strength. And I think that is the most beautiful thing ever, to be able to express yourself about something that hurt you so much, and you are finally able to let go of that and be at peace. And that is literally shadow work, to become peaceful. To become at peace with the situations that have hurt you in the past, whether it be because of some stuff that went down when you were a child, whether it be now, teenage, whatever the case is, it is for you to learn about it and refine yourself, okay? My biggest slogan, like literally, you guys probably see it in all my little hashtags and bios and whatever the case is reflect and refine, okay? We have to reflect on our actions. We have to reflect on ourselves. Of course, we have to reflect on the people we're around and everything, but we also have to step back and realize that we have been we have been a villain in somebody else's story. You know what I mean? And sometimes we don't want to accept that. We don't want to feel like, yo, I really did that person dirty, or I really made that person go through X, Y, and Z. Wow, I'm really having deja vu right now. That is very funny. Okay, but you don't want to... I completely lost my train of thought. Oh no. Why, universe? Why do you do this to me? You don't want to be the villain in somebody else's story, you know? And I feel like that's a concept that is hard to sometimes, understand. Reflecting and refining is literally about that. Reflecting on your actions, seeing where you can better yourself, what triggers you, learning how to heal from situations and not be toxic in certain situations, as well as refining it. Now you're aware of those things. So what can I do to make it better? What can I do to stop these habits? What can I do to not feel this way, So once you learn how to reflect and refine, things start to become a lot easier. Excuse me. Because you are now setting your intentions and doing it. You're not just saying things, you are putting action behind what you're saying. And your frequencies are starting to raise, because not only are you bettering yourself and, working on yourself and growing, you're also starting to attract better and powerful things, because your vibrations are starting to rise higher. Another thing, so that's reflection and refining. Reflect and refine. But also because 3 is the number of paths. It's the number of which way should I take. But at the end of the day, your angels and your ancestors and your spirit guides are always guiding you. So whatever path you take is ultimately going to lead you to the ultimate goal. And I feel like that's really powerful. The number 3 is such a beautiful number. On top of it being my life path number, the creative communicator, which is essentially what I am to you guys. So yeah. I also feel like spirituality, a lot of things that I don't talk about is you feeling so lonely and feeling like a lot of people aren't understanding what you're going through. Because honestly, you are gonna feel so uncomfortable in your own skin. You look at yourself and you're just like, what even is this? I don't want this. Like, I know for me, for example, there was a moment where I have tattoos. They're covered up so you can't really see them right now. But I have like a bunch of tattoos, and I really was just like, yo, like, what do I even have on my body? Like, I am really just bugging out with every aspect you can think of, physically, emotionally. Like, when I started really going through my spiritual awakening and really starting to just like do the shadow work, I started to just kind of like rebuild myself. I literally tore myself down and had to build it all back up. You know what they say, Rome wasn't built in one day, you know? So like, you aren't built in one day. You are such a powerful and beautiful light, and you have to just continue to build yourself and continue to, you know, make those little bricks keep going. And it's gonna be a beautiful thing, but you just have to take it day by day. Spirituality is uncomfortable because you have to come to terms with yourself. You have to come to terms with other people who you end up realizing that it's just a projection of who you are in a sense. Because at the end of the day, we all have the same exact situations, or the same exact principles, I should say, but different situations. Okay, we all have the principle of what is the issue, all of us, the same exact thing, but the situations just vary. And once you understand that somebody else is also going through it, and so are you, but you're here and living this life right now, and you are able to create a life for yourself, for the people around you, for your generation to come. You are a legacy. You are here to change something, whether it be in your life or your best friend's life or the entire world. You are here to change something, and that is so beautiful. And I feel like that is where the love and the light and the rainbows and the butterflies come into play, because that is when you really feel that beautiful light. Like, once you get over all the darkness and you accept and you release all those things that hurt you, you really sit here and you appreciate life for the little things. Like, the littlest things will really just be like, wow, the world is so pure and beautiful. And that is something that definitely is great and is preached about a lot, obviously, in the spiritual community. But there's also the negative parts that aren't preached about or talked about, which is feeling lonely and, you know, reflecting on your actions and your shadow work, and just really realizing that everybody is just growing, and some more than others at different rates, whatever the case is. But it's beautiful, and you just gotta roll with it. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Be on the lookout for more to come. I definitely have a lot of videos planned and a lot of ideas, so I'm very excited for that. Look out for that, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Share the video, and yeah, enjoy. Hello? Ma'am, why isn't this stopping? Did you die? No, you didn't. Click, 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 click. Click, 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 click. It's literally not stopping. Okay, bye guys, love you.